Hello, it's me, Annalisa, with my spiritual friend. It is now Saturday. I didn't make it on yesterday. I'm sorry. I just the day got away with me, and I didn't sleep very well the night before, so I needed a nap. Um, so I wanted to talk about when we're talking about manifesting. Real quick. I am a reverend. I ordained spiritualist reverend. I am a psychic medium, an energy healer, seance conductor, and all of those things. I am not a doctor, a lawyer, a therapist, or a financial advisor. So if you need one of those, please seek those. Um, on any day but Sunday, I typically, hi, Ankur. I like to share about my spiritual experiences on my own journey, and hopefully they help you. And for me, manifesting is a huge part of that, understanding connection and creation and how we're all interconnected. And Hi, Julia, and rebuilding my own belief system. So, what I wanted to talk today about in regards to manifesting is this theory of karma and of hi, Linda, and of then this like idea that started to make itself known to me, the spiral theory that I'm calling it that. I've never actually said it out loud, so welcome to hearing it first. Um, you always hear about people talking about karma, like they'll get their karma, or oh, this is a karmic relationship, and it all sounds so dramatic and terrible. And then when I started like really researching the law of attraction and really the law of assumption, I started to kind of go, maybe karma doesn't really exist because if we create whatever we want, and yes, there's like if you decide you want to be own some huge business empire, yes, there's side effects to that. But like maybe you have to work more or you're got a lot more emails, whatever, more meetings. Um, Life isn't as simple and as maybe it was when you were making less money. But I don't know if I really believe in karma anymore. In that sense, in the punishment sense. However, I was watching a video, and it was a thing done by Sadhguru. And I always like to watch a lot of different people because, again, it's not that I put anybody up on a pedestal. It's more about learning and gleaning any bit of wisdom that I can from others where it sits right with my own soul. And that's what I encourage you to do. If you're learning from me or anybody else who talks about manifesting, just take what works for you and leave the rest. And don't worry about like, but they said, don't worry about it. It's like a lot of people who are mediums and are talking to you about getting connected with your psychic side. They say, protect yourself. And I used to think that too, but then I realized that that was putting this fear-based feeling to connecting to my higher self and to source. And that I don't really need protection because I just believe that I'm always well protected. And that's what's seemed to work for me and taken away some of the fear-based connection for me. So whenever people say that, I just kind of go, oh, okay, that's what works for you. So anyway, Sadhguru, someone was asking him about, karma, and they thought that if being an enlightened being, like, why did he still have bad things happening to him if he had cleared all of his karma? Because, there's the theory that you clear your karma, the more enlightened you become, you clear your karma. And he goes, oh no, I have lots of karma. I have lots and lots of karma because karma is just memories. And to me, that was the aha, yeah, that's what it is. Karma is memories because, you think as an enlightened being, I should not have any more karma. Everything should be easy and zen. And that's not true. And that's sort of where then that put together like this other connection with my spiral theory. Bear with me as I go through this. About 10 years ago, roughly, I had something called the Practical Mysticism Expo that I founded and my friend Tony, and I put this together, and it was in Manhattan, and we would just a couple times a year we would have, and my friend Tova joined on later on, but we would put together practitioners that would come in and do either speeches or you could buy readings. Um, Hi, just being me. You could buy readings, or you could have your tarot read, have an energy healing done. And at one point, my friend Sam Leibowitz, who trying to think of I can't think of his channel, all of his stuff that he puts out right now, but um, he was working with this woman who had these charged huge orbs, and they set them up in like what would be like if you did a two-dimensional Merkaba, which is the pyramids put together. So if it was drawn two-dimensionally, it almost looks like a Star of David. And then inside this, and it was like probably 10 or 12 feet across once they, and these, the orbs were, huge. And they put this chair in the center of it, and it was like a fancy schmancy, like, outdoor camping chair or whatever, because it would kinda lay back and relax it, and, you had your feet up, you were sitting in, like, a little, I don't know, whatever this position is called, with your feet elevated and, your arms up, and, you would put these headphones on, and you'd close your eyes. I can't remember if we had an eye mask or not, but I know I closed my eyes, and he's like, "And you just sit there and you listen to this music." Like, that was literally the instruction, and I was like, "Well, what happens?" He goes, "It meets you where you're at." And I was like, "What does that mean?" So it meets you where you're at spiritually and what you're ready to feel. And so I did this, and and it wasn't quite long enough for me to dig in and kind of figure out what this was I was seeing, but I remember very clearly, and it was towards the end, having a vision. I don't know if you know what a double helix is, like when you look at the shape of DNA, where it looks like a ladder that's twisted. It looked like that, only I knew that it was souls kinda traveling up in this spirally form, but it wasn't just one set, it was like all these different ones, and they were all twisting and spiraling up, and I knew they were souls, they weren't, it wasn't a genetic thing. And I was telling this woman who was working with Sam, she said, "What did you experience?" And I told her, she goes, "Oh my god, I saw that same thing, only I only saw one spiraling up, but I saw, like, a whole bunch and kind of all kinda going around together." I had no clue what it was or what it meant. And it really wasn't until this week that it like clicked and I was like, "Oh," and it was in the most random way that the clarity came. So I was talking to my daughter's math teacher. She's missed a few days because now, when they get colds, they have to stay home and they have to get the PCR test because that's similar symptoms to COVID. And then you have to wait for the PCR to get, so it's like they're out a lot more days. And so I was talking to him. I was like, "There's a lot of makeup and I don't know, what to do." And he goes, "Well, it's okay because our math work is like a spiral work and you get it like it circles back around and you relearn it several times. Like it's not just a one and done thing." And that's when I like came home and I was like thinking about the spiral. And then I was thinking about my spiral that I saw in my vision. And I realized and thinking about karma and lessons and thinking about manifesting and why it's not really about peeling back the layers of when we're learning and the process is being human through many lifetimes. It's not really about peeling back the layers of onion. It's about this spiral. And this sort of to me connected together not only the idea of us relearning lessons and the karmic memories that we get throughout lifetimes, but then also how our souls interact and connect in different lifetimes. So it's like all of these things spiraling together and doing different things that we're actually learning it on different levels. And so when you're manifesting and you're like, why does this keep coming up in my life? Not only is it your belief systems from this lifetime, it's memories from past lives. and and it keeps spiraling and you keep learning, and maybe you did went through these lessons in the past life with this person, you had this karmic relationship. It's all interconnected. It's not this or this, by the way. So you had this karmic connection with this person, and maybe you're having another karmic connection, karmic relationship with them. And it's not because you're being punished, it's you're just relearning the lesson in a different way with a little bit more clarity, or you have some understanding on one level, but you still need to get a little bit more from it. And then maybe you learn a little bit what you need to learn in this go round, and maybe later in life you see them again, or you get that same lesson with another person as you spiral and pass them. And then maybe that comes back around in another lifetime where you're learning the same with the same people or with other people, and then we all interconnect in this huge spiral like DNA mass of stuff. So when you're manifesting and you're like, "Oh, but it came the wrong way," don't get mad. Just go, "Oh, I just need to tweak it and relearn it. Maybe I refine it this way and I move up and I keep ascending and I keep ascending." And when I saw this vision, it wasn't like there was this end point of this ascension. It just kept going, and you just keep learning and you keep moving and you keep growing and you keep interacting with all these different cells, and it keeps spiraling. So that's my spiral theory on why it's not karma is not about punishment, and it's not about you're not getting it right this time. It's just you've got these memories, and so the more ascended you go, the more memories you have and the more interconnections and the more refinement that can happen. And um as if you're my father always, like, he would refinish furniture, and he would go over the furniture so many times with different grades of sandpaper, and then steel wool and cheesecloth and like all these different things, and he did it so many times. But when he finished a piece of furniture, it was so smooth, it was like glass. And that's sort of what happens as you're going through this spiral and this refining period. And so as you're manifesting, don't think, well, I manifested this and it's not coming right away or it's not happening right away. You just have to keep persisting, because that's sort of like the cycle of life and the spiral of like learning and growing. And know that it will come, and it always comes, and always comes to you through persistence. Um, I just when I got that bit of information, it's really easy for someone, like, people come to me for reading and say, "Well, I saw this. What does it mean?" And sometimes I go, "I don't know. You're not supposed to know yet." And I didn't know at the time what that meant. And I was like, it was really interesting. It was really cool. It was a neat experience, but I don't understand it right now. And truthfully, I don't think I would have been ready to fully understand it without kind of going through all these different lessons of my own connection to spirit and lessons of manifesting, um and why you don't need to worry. Also, I was like thinking the connection with karma, why you don't need to worry about if you're manifesting something, like, am I taking away from somebody else, or am like when people have it in their head that they don't deserve money or success or to want something because somebody else is suffering or somebody else is like that. There's no karma there. Like, that's like, it doesn't work that way. Your karma is simply you and you alone, and the lessons you're learning along the way. It's not punishment, and it's just the memories that you carry in your own, I don't want to say cellular structure, though it can be, but cellular structure. And you carry that with you through many lifetimes. uh I think that was like all I really wanted to talk about. I just thought it was really fascinating how it came through to me, and how the understanding of karma being more about memory rather than about fear and punishment sort of allows you then to move through and manifest the things in the life that you want, because you don't have to worry about, it's like pulling another layer off of that limiting belief system. Does anybody have any questions? If not, I'm going to go. We can call it a short day. I do have, so again, I won't be live tomorrow doing the readings tomorrow. I'm going to do a special where it's mediumship only on Monday in the evening. I haven't picked a time, so go to my community board on Monday and I'll pick a specific time. But I think it's going to be around 6 or 7 o'clock at night Eastern time. And then it's not gonna be a long thing, because I'm just gonna, if you're on there and you put your name in, I'll write your name down on a little piece of paper. I have a whole bunch of little pieces of paper, and then I'll draw it from a bucket. So like as I go through, I'll just draw names, and then whoever's meant to get a reading will get a reading. Now you hang out, you listen to the readings, maybe a message will come through for you. That kind of is a cross message. Sometimes we get cross messages, right? And then I still have some spaces available in my psychic development course that starts on November 2nd, and that's going to be the last series where I only charge $120 for the full 6 weeks. They last about an hour and a half each session, so you're really getting in there. You get to practice. I have lots of great feedback. I've been posting the testimonials. People are really loving it. So if you want to join, I'd be happy to have you. And then on November 8th, I'm going to be on my friend Tony's podcast. It's called Cosmic Tuesdays with Anthony Pico. And we're going to be talking about miracles and manifesting and finding your intuition. And I will post the flyer for that shortly. And I think that's all the news that's fit to print, as they used to say on Lake Wobegon days. um, One other thing. Oh, I'm going to be launching a manifesting course, and I think I'm going to be calling it, it's just going to be like a little workshop, practical manifesting for the everyday practitioner. So Okay, hang on. Julia said, "You're fabulous at teaching. I've never understood so clearly. Now I've watched all the October series. If we have a thought of manifesting something, is that because we were supposed to be on that path?" Yes, I absolutely think that that's what it is. So, but it doesn't mean that just because you don't follow through that you don't you're going to be punished or whatever. It's just like the universe is going, "Hey, this is something you should do. This is something that's a possibility. Did you ever think of this? This is in alignment with your energy. It works." Um, that's my theory on it, and I'm sticking to it. Uh, what was I gonna say? Oh, last day of my purple sweater. You're gonna see me in my other clothes after this, but please persist and know that, like the last couple of nights I've been listening to sleep affirmations because I was feeling a little anxious and unsettled. And my energy has been like "Whir," all over the place. And so I just was like, what, this helps me feel good. And why not? So know that as you're on your manifesting path, don't think that because you have a bad day here or there, or you're having a rough spot that like, oh no, it's all failed and it'll never work. And I'm just, that's just part of being human that we need reassurance sometimes. And we need to like keep refining and keep smoothing out the path. It doesn't matter how long someone's been doing it or how guru-fied or whatever they are, they're still doing the work. It's a practice every single day. So you guys have a lovely weekend. Happy Samhain or Halloween, whatever you want to call it. I will see you on Dia de Muertos on November 1st to welcome in a few people's loved ones and do a little bit more mediumship on that day. And then again, check out my psychic development course and see what you think. You'll have a good one. Thanks for being here. Bye.